come to the honeycomb hideout.
Honeycombs this. Yeah.
Yeah, honeycomb hideout. Come on to it. Hello, friends, frenemies, people who are out and about on the program. Had an enjoyable evening last night talking with a friend of mine. It was a good show. Wanted to hit on some points that we didn't really expound into. Everybody who's been on my page for a long time, and I noticed after that show, a few people jumped on board, just letting them know exactly where I am and what I do, and you can peruse the rest of my content if you wish to. That song was the Exorcist by Axion Ghost. Link will be in the description. It's very easy when I talk about mentoring, mentorship, things like that. And there's a reason for that. Because of great mentors, everybody on my channel's heard this. They're probably bored at this. But, I'm a bastard. Never had a father. That's okay. Life is good. Because I had great mentors. This is the difference. From the time I was in Boy Scouts, getting my eagle, that was pivotal in a young man's life. I had good mentors. That's why mentorship is key. And then going into the Army, and then the Marine Corps, and continuing up to this day. I still have my old mentors that I will talk to if I need advice, something like that. But they give you something. A good mentor gives a young man things to contemplate and think about other than themselves. Look, when everything is in chaos, you have to understand and be still and know it will work out. Be calm. You will get the job done or die in the effort. Either way, you win. For you've put your feet where they were supposed to be today. And that's the point that I see that we have not given these young men a mission. A mission, very simply, is somebody comes up and complains. Well, okay, why don't you handle that issue? Why don't you figure a good way out to make it work? So that will negate the complainer. And they'll see there's a lot more that has to be put into it to think about, to try to achieve something, a common good. Also, the wrong and right of things. You know, to have discernment and be able to decide and take a decision that actually will be a positive to the net of everybody. And because of that, you know, during various times, even up into this day, I've had the privilege to have worked with better men than I. A lot of these men have given a lot more than I have. They did cash that check, or Uncle Sam or whatever we were working for got to cash that check for them. So that's another thing. You'll deal with loss a little better. There'll be times you've heard me get choked up on this channel talking about issues. But that's because there's a sworn brotherhood, and it's what needs never be talked about. If somebody calls you up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, you're up. You're talking to them. There's a reason they're calling you. But that's a small group of people, fairly large for me, but it's just because I'm like a little whore. I go around and do everything and get my finger in everybody's pie. It's just kind of what I do for a living. But as I stated on the show last night, I have worked for various and sundry. I've been everything on a PSD, from a window licker to a trunk monkey, all the way up into, including TL, team lead, and a daggone 2IC, second in charge. These are English terminologies because it's been mostly English companies I've worked for, or foreign companies which use the English model, not the U.S. model. I have worked for some U.S. agencies, but I don't even, a lot of the stuff they teach, yeah, some of it was useful, but I learned a lot more working with foreigners. That's all I'll say on that. So the point is, mentoring is the key. There was everybody wants to bash on the millennials. They want to bash on Generation Z. That's pointless. What have you done to help them? Have you encouraged them? Have you put a challenge up to them? Have you given them some responsibility? What have you done? What have you done? What have you invested? Look, whether you like it or not, and that's why my page is dedicated to these kind of topics, and I talk with great men of note, that I have mad respect for, yet those names are hardly ever talked about. And the minds, also some minds that I disagree with. I will have people on that I totally disagree with politically and all other ways, because I've even gathered some knowledge from them. See, you can't be closed-minded. You also can't have your mind so open that your brains fall out the right side or the left side, your ears. You don't want your mind that open, but you want your mind open to be receptive and to have some discernment and some decision-taking abilities, so that you're able to have a professional courtesy about yourself, a way that you can interact with others and keep it real, no matter what you're doing, what type of job you're doing. Static security, done that too. Everything from ECPs to training, all that other kind of, silliness and going out and doing things. It just is what it is. And a lot of people, I think, that came on here probably came on for wrong reasons. That's what my channel is about. And I'm glad that you guys came to the Honeycomb Hideout, Kaiser's Castle. Glad that you're sitting on my big orange couch, having a coffee, tea, soda, or adult libation. It's your choice, and it is your choice. You can come and go on my page at will. It matters not to me. You can interact when this thing goes live. I'll be there. I'll be there to talk. If I want to talk about something, I will. If I don't, I won't. That's the way it goes. And So if you have thoughts that you think this, that, or the other, you can have those thoughts. I really could give a fuck. Going back to what I was talking about mentoring, there is a time when you mentor somebody, and good mentorship. A good mentor knows that the mentee has freedom. He can leave your mentorship at any time. And all you're doing is giving them advice, giving them a challenge. Do this, do that, right? And that mentee can either take it or not. And then the mentor has to see if this is a good fit. It is on the mentor in the end. Because there will come a time where a mentor, and it's happened with everybody, will say, hey, I've given you everything I can give you. At this point, you need to go find another mentor. If you ever want to come back and talk to me about something, doors open. But both can sever that mentor-mentee relationship. And it's kind of an important thing in my book because, as we discussed last night, the drugging of the kids, SSRIs, and all the opioids and all the other garbage and marijuanas, nobody's talking about how all these medicines are interacting with each other, putting people into psychoses. And that's on the parents' fault. You start a kid out at 11 years old and you start rewiring that brain's not mature enough. They've done studies with even alcohol, that if somebody's doing alcohol before they're like 23, 24, that it can have problems with the brain's development. It's just, I believe it because I've seen it with people. Shit, I've even experienced it. I know I'd be a lot, and I've gone to college, got my degree. That's not the point. The point is I believe, shit, I could have been a doctor of something if I wanted to. But I just didn't. Because I didn't want to. And that's another thing. I don't care. Everybody measures success in their own way. To me, success is owning my own home, having a son that's doing well, and looking out and seeing the people I've mentored, their successes. That gives me personal fulfillment. And of course, when I go to work, good job performance, getting things done. That's important to me. These are the things I find important. And these are the discussions. And we will laugh and joke and drink and talk. Me and my friends, you'll hear them on the channel. And we'll bullshit about old shit that happened. And I've got a couple epic dudes lined up very soon that will be on. And we'll have some more of those good old talks and some of the same people I have coming on regularly. Baz will be back up. Bez may pop back in. But a couple of these dudes, you guys will really enjoy their stories. And, hey, everybody can criticize me as much as they want. Remember, I'm an old Dago Wop. Been called everything. Don't care. Half Sicilian, half Kraut, half German. You ain't going to offend me. You're not going to troll me. I'll laugh it off. I don't give a shit. I'll let you say what you want. But troll away. Because I used to troll with the best of them. Trust me, I've been on more page raids than any of you have ever thought of. With that being said, remember, I'm about to lift the drawbridge. I'll give you guys time to finish your coffee, tea, soda, or adult libation before I raise that drawbridge. But when it's a small world and there's too many motherfuckers in it, it's time to figure shit out. With that being said, thank you for stopping by Kaiser's Castle. Shuff out.